So back again, and I was going to go straight into a battle, but I'll maybe just show some of the additional tweaks you get on the War of the Chosen expansion. So one of the cool things you got is the training centre, so you can retrain soldier abilities like in the regular Xcom. But one of the cool things you've got here is train additional abilities. So there's a few soldiers you can choose from here. So during each battle, soldiers, when they perform actions, take out enemies, you get ability points. Now there's different types of ability points. You've got personal ones which are specific to each soldier. Then you've got Xcom points, which is like a shared pool. So how it works is normally each soldier levels up and they've got abilities specific to the class. So normally when you get co-op, we either get blast padding or shredder, so you make one a choice one or two. But when you're going into the training centre, you've got an option where you can unlock additional abilities, and they're not always actually specific to the soldier type. So you can see there's a grenadier, but it's got a deep cover ability, which is from the other soldier types, which I think might be possibly one of the ranger abilities. So the way it works, that one costs 10 ability points. So if I were to unlock that ability for this soldier, but I'd use his own 10 AP. But if I went on to say run and gun, which is 11 ability points, the way that'd work, it would use the soldier's 10 AP, so his own personal pool of points, and it would also use one Xcom point. So the run and gun's a ranger ability. You've got suppression, heavy ordnance, so that's quite a cool ability for your grenadiers because it gives you an additional bonus use when you main grenade slots. And got the normal abilities, the hail abilities, but then you've got covering fire. So the covering fire, that's from the specialist, so I could unlock that as well. Again, you get more, it all varies from each soldier, but some of them are quite useful just in terms of either boosting your general survivability or your ability to attack. So like run and gun this soldier anyway, because you could move further and get into closer to the action, but having an additional bonus use of any grenades is quite a tidy ability to have. So I think I'm going to unlock this one for this guy. So there, it gives you a bit of a warning as well, so it'll tell you use like 2 Xcom ability points. So I've unlocked that for him, so that's permanently unlocked now. I'll just show you like one of the ones that was one of our main guys, so he's up at a colonel rank. Some of the abilities cost quite a lot, so at the moment he's only got 6 AP. But you can see you've got the different abilities. I've unlocked some of the extra abilities that are not normally for a specialist. So kill zone is only from the the gunslinger, the sniper soldier. So I've already unlocked that. Run and gun, that's from rangers. Scanning protocol, these are specific to the soldier class, but you can see there blast padding, that's from the grenadier, so that'd just give him that's quite good just because it reduces damage from explosion, gives you an extra point of armour. Shredder, again, that's a grenadier ability, so when you fire it shreds armour. But I think with this guy I'm going to go for capacitor discharge. So I've gone here, let's have a look at some of the other people we've got on here. So you got any ability points? No, he's a new soldier I've unlocked. See there, this is one of the rangers. So I've got hollow targeting abilities, that's from the grenadier class. Dead eye, that's from the gunslinger. Covering fire, that's from specialist. So you can see some of the abilities mix it up, so it makes some of these soldiers quite unique. Let's have a look at the sharpshooter, so see what he's got. So hail of bullets, that's a grenadier ability, so it'll use all his rifle ammo and it means it's guaranteed a hit. It's quite a tidy ability to have. Return fire is pretty good anyway. Ever vigilant. So while that works, it's basically if normally you have to take a turn and you go into either attack or you can choose to go into Overwatch. But however Vigilant works is if you use all your moves and don't do any attacks, so even if you do a dash ability or you take 2 turns of movement, you automatically go into Overwatch, so it's pretty decent. This soldier's nearly maxed out on Colonel. I've only got to maybe do a couple of missions. You can level up your wounded soldiers in here, you can unlock abilities, even if we're in the infirmary or if you're not recovering normally. So that's quite a cool ability for a ranger, which we get anyway. Volatile mix, it's up to you, and generally if you're not going to use that many grenades, it's you know, you might not want to bubble it. You can see there that the ability points on this are quite expensive, so some abilities cost quite a lot to unlock. And it's not necessarily the ranky soldier. Sometimes I've noticed the 25.1 is much later on, whereas here it's halfway through is, you know, general progression. Let's see if she got any abilities she can unlock. So that's quite a good move. Stops you getting Overwatch action. So that'll normally on a ranger. Chain shot again. That's quite an expensive one. Phantom, some ranger's ability. Right there. I mean, generally the shadow step, if you've got a soldier who's going to be moving around a lot, then that's when you'd probably want to go into. I'm going to show you some of the different units you've got as well. So, because you've got the factions, you've got the Reapers, Templars and Skirmishers. Let's have a quick look at the Reaper. So Reaper's basically like a mix of a ranger slash sharp shooter, so we can go into concealment, we can set off traps, the aim's pretty good, and you can progress them separately as well. So they've got some unique abilities. So that one, basically the shadow abilities, if your concealment's broken, you can choose to go into concealment, and it has a cooldown. The way the Reaper works as well is even if the whole squad's revealed, the Reaper's actions have a set. They're always going to be, you know, they're always going to be, you know, concealed, and certain actions will have a percentage of either attacking. So if you shoot an Advent officer or an Advent trooper, it'll have a percentage to reveal them. So sometimes if you're using the Reaper and you kill a unit, it doesn't necessarily put them into a revealed state, and they still be concealed, so it gives you a good ability to like sort of take advantage of them. The Claymore's quite a cool trap, so you can just launch a Claymore. It's just a device that anyone can shoot, not just the Reaper, and it just sets up an explosion in a radius, does damage. This one's pretty good for like destroy for any environments with destructible hazards around, so like barrels, fuel tanks. So basically the Reaper you can choose any destructible placement in the map, so you can just flick through like you would do any target, and it basically lets you blow it up. So you've got a lot of Advent soldiers around it. You can set it off, but it's going to damage your own troops as well, so you've got to be careful. Blood Trail, so if you're attacking an Advent or any alien unit's already being wounded, it just does an additional damage. Squad Sight, again, so some of these are the abilities from the Xcom thing, so that's what you get from like the sharp shooters. Tactical Rigging, so you get an additional utility, so you can just carry more items. Some good ones here, like there's quite a lot to choose from, so when you're leveling up, you can choose quite a few different abilities. I've not really used the Reaper that much, just because of my own playstyle. I tend to prefer the Templar or the Skirmisher. I have to show you the Templar. So we're mainly a melee fighter, so we go in up close and we've got blades that we use to attack with. So the Templar can use psionics, and they build up something called focus. So every time they attack an enemy and get a kill, it builds up a focus bar, and then it allows you to use an ability to either do like a psionic type attack, or parry is an ability that's quite useful. So what parry does, it means that even if they're right in front of an enemy, their first attack on the Templar, it means it won't do any damage. Depending on what the situation is, it will allow you to move or use the parry. And then as you level up, there's new abilities that you can unlock. So there's quite a few decent ones here. That's pretty much it really. It's pretty standard, it's pretty easy to use. So it's pretty cool. What you got as well is I've got a resistance ring. So I've got some orders on at the moment, but what the resistance ring allows you to do is just basically give out missions. So when you have to send off some soldiers into the field and you don't control them, so they're gone for a set amount of days, but each faction has its own missions and they take a certain number of days. Now if you look on the, like this one, it says Hunt the Chosen Warlock. That's basically one of the Eldars, like special troops who constantly talk to you, but you can see there you've got soldier wounded in terms of the risk and the soldier capture, which is high. So when you're doing certain missions you have to put in a soldier and it'll tell you, like in this one for example that's going through at the moment, you have a soldier and it requires a specific rank soldier, and then also it might have a secondary soldier that you need to put in there, but then it has a third slot which is in the bottom, so we can see what it says, Astrid Jacobson. Now that's using an optional one, and what that does, it will do things like it will negate the chance of soldiers coming back wounded or capture. Now if a soldier gets captured, what happens is they're gone for a while until you can send out one of the factions to try and find out where they are. Then you've got to launch a rescue mission, or you don't, if you don't want to, but you basically can't get a soldier back, and it's more likely to have knock-on negative effects on you. The rescue missions can be quite tough. Generally you need to go in concealed, find the captured soldier who's going to be unconscious, so you're going to have to carry him, and then as soon as you unlock them, of course it kicks off and when it comes in. It can be quite hard sometimes. On the last mission I did, one of the Chosen, the Chosen Warlock, the one that basically uses all psychic abilities and he can summon mechs, he kidnapped my skirmisher. So I've got to find him now at the moment, but the option hasn't come up in a mission yet. So that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to go now and just progress the bridge, just to roll on the time lapses, just because I want to build on some research and obviously show you setting a mission out through the ring. So it's fine, I've done that one. So not now. Right, so what we're looking on. So we've got supplies there, got a few there. Is there anything that's going to give me intel though? Go for some supplies. And just one thing I'll show you as well, like, so a normal Xcom game you can choose what bonuses you've got when you're at your sort of Avengers start region, so you'll build faster, heal faster, or gain intel. Now each faction headquarters that you go to, it basically takes over those ones, so the skirmisher one always allows you to build facilities faster, Reaper one gives you more intel, and the Templar one is around here, it heals your soldiers faster. I've not really used the Templar one anymore really, because I've built an infirmary, so I've got faster healing anyway, and once you've kind of built pretty much anything you need, you don't really need to use a skirmisher one. So the Reaper one's your main intel. So let's have a look. Get some supplies.
Avenger plotting new course.
Our action together is complete, Commander.
So you can see now that one of the covert actions I've sent out has come back. Now, it's a good thing about this as well, so you can send soldiers out and they'll level up and gain promotions just like you would if you're using them in battle. One thing you've got to be careful with though is sometimes they get ambushed. Now when they get ambushed, you've got to actually do the mission where you extract them. Now you don't have a squad of soldiers to extract the people you've sent out, so in this case there's 3 of them and a scientist. What happens on an ambush mission, whoever you've sent, it's only them on their own, you've got to get to an extraction point. Now they're concealed initially, there's no one there when you first start, but units will drop in and you have to encounter what's called the Lost. Now the Lost are basically like type zombies, you have to keep firing. And so if you send in, say, a sergeant level soldier and then a rookie who's got no set class as such, when that rookie is going to, if you survive, then it's fine, you're obviously going to level up. It's going to be quite hard if you send in, unprepared soldiers, especially sort of later on in the game when you've got the more advanced advent units. So I'm going to assign a new core action, and they change over time, these, depending on what it is. So like you get something that just gives you like a PCS. Recruit Reapers, that allows you to recruit more Reaper soldiers. Increased incomes, you know, self-explanatory. Superior weapon upgrade, what that basically is you don't get like a weapon that upgrades, it's things you can add on to your attachments you add to your weapons, so like the scopes, the extra magazines, just gives you one of them. Ability points, quite handy, 15 is quite a lot. Hunt the Warlock, so that's where you can send a Warlock out, cover loot. So you see how there you got some unit orders will give you permanent boosts. So like on this one, it's quite good to do the recover loot one. So I'm going to hunt this guy down because on my last mission I mentioned he kidnapped my skirmisher, which was quite annoying because he's quite a cool unit. So we've got to send a lieutenant. So let's have a look who we've got. I've got quite a few. So I'm going to send my specialist. Someone with hacking, so let's see, send another one. Richard Roll, and send a sergeant. Capture's probably quite high on this one. I've seen it on sometimes where it's low, and sometimes a soldier's still captured, so anything that allows you to negate the risk. So sometimes, like in this one, it's the case you've got to stick a soldier in of a specific class. Other times you've got to do things like spend a set number of supplies or intel. So this means that I can't issue another order for 7 in-game days, so I'm going to confirm that now, because when you've targeted the strongholds of each specific chosen, you can then launch a mission to kill them. It's like a boss battle, so there'll be a big base that you've got to go through, and then you know, waves of then different advent troops, soldiers, and then you've got to fight the chosen specifically. But once you've killed them, they're out of the game forever. And you get some, you know, unlock things. So I've just killed one of the chosen so far, which is the hunter. Now the hunter acts a lot like the ranger soldier does in the game, but as they go on through the game, but they start to learn from how you attack. So over time, they might develop a resistance or an immunity to melee attacks. So you have, that's what happened with the hunter in my game. And then the longer they go on, they develop more strengths, and sometimes they'll communicate with each other and tell them, you know, so that the benefit one has, the other might share. They're quite amusing though, because as you do certain missions, or when they sometimes ambush you on any mission that you're doing in a particular region, you know, they're taunting you. They're quite well written as characters. So I'm going to go back into the bridge area and kind of show you sort of what regions are which one. So in this particular game, this is one of the chosen. So basically any missions round here that I'm doing, they potentially could just show up and attack. I've got the option to complete a mission to take out the chosen stronghold, so I could do that, but I'm not going to go for it yet. And then the Warlock is sort of around this general region. So again, it just means that any missions you undertake, they can come out and attack. So once you've unlocked the ability, you can take out the base. It'll take them out of the game forever, and then you can unlock some cool weapons. So when I killed the chosen hunter, they dropped a katana and basically like a type of shotgun. And you have to research the 2 items, but then you can once you've researched them, it allows you to equip only one on any soldiers that you want. So once I researched the hunter's weapons, I could use their katanas and their shotgun, and they're quite advanced weapons compared to like what the upgrades. They do quite a lot of damage, and the katanas never miss as well, and they do heavy damage. So it's definitely worth doing that research. So let's see. So I've got the side chain. That's pretty much as normal. And let's see if we've got anything else in going there. Creating a war suit. So now we'll just move on the time now and just see what happens. to get some more supplies.
Incoming message for you, Commander. Patching it through to your quarters now.
You have made considerable progress against the aliens over the past month, Commander. I hope that your ongoing efforts will only lead to further success.
There will be no more fleeing from the Elder's wrath. It is time for you to accept their judgment.
So,
and I will deliver it.
the Warlock.
The Elders have
So over
blessed
time,
me.
they
No,
build up new abilities and strength.
reward me.
So this one now means you can
Stronger
gain
than ever.
health when there's enemies nearby to take damage. So, you know, depending on what enemies nearby, it could be a lot of health or not. This guy moves around quite a lot as well. What he tends to do is either summon mechs into battle, or he can create psionic zombies. So basically uses psionic energy and creates what look like ghostly type zombies, which just run after your soldiers and attack them, and they do the same sort of damage as normal reanimated soldiers. So it's quite a pain in the arse. You can see there she's already defeated. There's a special ability where just calling in normal adventing reinforcements. She could go into concealment in and out of the battlefield. And got the other one there, Darrell Valinor, the hunter. He's like a sharpshooter, so he has heavy marks. He can do quite a few different things. And as time goes on, they do different dark events. So sometimes it'll be things like it just generally reduces your income in a region, or it'll show up on certain retaliation missions. So you might have Advent attacking a resistance camp, you've got to rescue her, and depending on what region it is, one of these chosen will show up and start attacking you in addition to the other soldiers, and they can deal quite a bit of damage if you let them. The Void Queen one, the assassin one, which I killed them, and then she could sneak up on soldiers and attack them, and when she attacked them, they were stunned, and you'd have to send a soldier to revive them. So she could do quite a lot of damage. So let's see. So there's quite a few dark events here. Risk of ambush and all covert missions. So the ambush one, it's doable if you've got strong enough soldiers, you can get out of there. The Stun Lancers one potentially could be a pain in the ass. Let's have a look. A few there. So what this is the resistance orders. So there's different ones that do different things. So whenever you've got them equipped in all of these sort of columns, it means they have permanent effects. So like this one's always a permanent one. So any shredding attacks do another point of damage. Resistance networks, that means that when you go into the resistance area, instead of having to scan for several days, provided you've got enough intel, you can just instantly create the contact, which is great, especially early on. You can help boost your thing, your supplies. Deeper learning, again, it's great. You've got just different, you've got more increased XP. You can filter as well. So available, it's like you can filter just specific, factions. So the Templar ones, the ones we've got here. So squad mate dies, you get a random bonus. Don't really use that because I've only lost one soldier. Deeper learning again, it's just like the extra increased XP, and then there's one there that gives you more power for your Avenger. At the moment, the only ones available for my skirmishers are Black Market, gives you more money because I've already got the fast construction on there. And there's a cool one called Double Agent. So on each mission, sometimes you'll find that when you've got that equipped, you'll see your additional soldier next to you, and it's an advent unit, and it can be a random one, if you either a stun lancer or a trooper, but they're completely controllable, and they don't unless they die or you finish the mission, they're not going to turn on you, so that's quite cool. So at the moment I've not got any construction, so I'm going to get rid of that and swap it for, I'll put the under the table one on. But then let's have a look at some of the Reaper ones. So the Reaper ones we've got here, so infiltrates, that's one where any time mission, which is basically a set number of turns, will normally start counting down from as soon as you start. Until you've actually broken concealment, it means that timer doesn't start. Gives you more resistance contacts, so like when you're establishing contacts in different regions, it just gives you more, so it's handy. Some quite cool ones here for like when you're building, so again I'm not using it at the moment, but when you're building facilities, that one boosts, halves your building speed for excavation speed, sorry, so that's really handy early on. There's one here like fire training, you can swap in and out at any point, so that just basically if you're putting any soldiers in a guerrilla training group, so when you hire rookies that don't have a specific class and you want to put them in a training school, it allows you to choose what soldier class they're going to be, rather than just like starting at the first level. We'll start at the second rank, so a sergeant, so we've got a couple of unlocks. Munitions expert, so that means if you're creating any like experimental ammo in the proving grounds, it's just completed instantly. And there we go, got all the orders back on there. So got one on there at the moment, so the Templar one there, I've not unlocked the second order slot yet, but I've got one already on there permanently, which basically means your ability points are increased by 25%, so that's quite handy.
My kind will obey.
Well, I will just show you quickly actually while I'm here, so I'll just go to the armory. I'll show you something with the soldiers, because each soldier's got like a intelligence sort of thing. So you can see the combat intelligence. So that's standard. So what the combat intelligence does is it sort of dictates how much AP
My
will
followers
earn.
remain in disbelief
So
that
someone with a standard
anyone
one just does a
served the
standard one.
elders could
Someone who's
ever
got
truly
gifted will
defy
mean
their
they're likely to
false
earn
gods.
it more,
We
much
remain
faster.
wary of their kind.
So it's
But
pretty
for
much
now, their quest for vengeance serves our
self-explanatory.
purpose.
So, like the Psi operative there, they're going to gain an AP, so that's pretty much all there is to that. So, I'm going to do a quick movement and get some supplies. That's a ridiculous amount. So, this is one of my Psi operatives, so I'm just going to continue training. If anyone's never used a Psi operative, they don't level up like other soldiers do in battle. We have to keep training them on the Avenger. So we've got some cool abilities, but each time we level up, you can choose to learn a new one. So I usually have a couple in there at a time and one out in the field. So there's one guy there in with the Mohawk. He's one of the other Psi operatives as well. So sustain, that's like what I mentioned about the Advent Priest. So that'll stop them, put something in stasis for a turn. Reduces the health. Fortress, that's pretty good. It's quite a good defensible ability to activate and have on there. So I'm going to put that in. Anything that boosts your soldier's ability to survive is a bonus on this game. So this guy, let's have a look. He's got soul steel now. I've completed a war suit. So I've just built a war suit. I've not built one before. And I also have a quick look in the Psi lab. Marcus Wagner, what's he got? What could he learn next? I'll learn Void Rift. I've still got the one I've shown for in my last live stream, the soldier in sort of the pink and black armour, should be available. So let's go to Proving Ground now. Let's have a look. What we got on here? So, not bothered with any of these because they're normally on the other DLCs, but when you play the War of the Chosen, if you've got any other DLCs on there, it allows you to use the sort of the equipment you can gain from it, and also the extra enemies that you fight that come with it, they can show up. So like on the one with the Dr. Val, where you've got the additional sort of items you can equip your soldiers with, and aesthetic clothing. You can also some of the special sort of boss level enemies, they show up randomly, so usually on black sites when you're attacking them. Not made a Wraith suit. I can imagine with it, you're talking about psionic fields, probably give you more movement, probably quite handy for the psionic soldier. Spark, so that's for Shen's last gift, so you can build one of the robotic units. If you're doing this, if you have the Warrior Chosen, you don't have to actually do the mission. It doesn't actually show up. It just lets you build Spark units from the get-go. So we've got experimental powered unit. Let's make a race suit.
We'll get started right away, Commander. I'll send word when the project is complete. Hey, Commander.
Let's see, let's build some items. So rage suits, that's based on like the berserkers, so the mutons. So you can just build them, and the only thing with it only gives you one utility slot. So it's handy for perhaps a ranger or a soldier quite precious about keeping alive. It does add more armour as well. So it boosts your mobility, armour, health, and it does a one-off attack where you can like basically slam the ground and it does a lot of damage. That's quite cool. Not built one yet, but let's see what we've got. A couple of chrysalid. Got a couple of those. We're gonna boost the gauntlets. So these are the Templar units. And fusion blade, so that's your ranger's sword. So this is one of the sort of new research options that you can do. It's a refraction field. You can only use this once per battle though, so you build one and you use it, it's gone forever, so I don't really bother with it. Sustaining sphere, so the Advent Priest, when I talked about how if you've got one health or if you've got this equipped basically and the action from the enemy would kill your soldier normally, this basically sustains them, gives them one health, it then disappears after battle. Ultrasonic Law, that's a War of the Chosen add-on as well, so that's basically when you're doing missions where you're fighting against the Lost, which look like zombies, this just basically acts like a beacon and draws them, because they're drawn to any loud explosions generally, so if you've got grenades and you're fighting Lost and just Lost on your own, it just keeps bringing them towards you. But sometimes there's some missions where you're fighting Lost and you've got Advent troops on there. When you do it, so you can actually use normal grenades to damage the Advent troops and draw off a swarm of zombie type enemies towards them. But this one basically, you can throw it and it will draw them away from you. So it's quite handy. Let's see. I think not a lot else to really make. I'll leave that as it is for now.
I wish we had a simulator for Bradford to practice on. If he crashes this ship, I might just hand him over to Advent myself.
Very nice. Alright, just gonna save. Right, let's go back on, move on, see what next mission comes up. Keen to see what that war suit looks like.
Strategic resource located. Avenger plotting new course.
Still got some contacts around the African continent to unlock. So this is cost that we need. Right, let's continue training there. Inspire. Oh, my beam cannon should be ready in a day as well. That's basically the last upgrade, I believe, for the Grenadier. Stick him in the fortress as well. Right, back in again. Back in a sec. Hello? You what?
When inspired, our team is actually quite efficient.